Hey guys, welcome to our podcast where it has to be said. My name is Elvis.
And I'm Denise.
We pump, babe. We pump. Let's talk.
No, you're pumped.
Yeah, I am. I started walking around the house back and forth, and Denise is like, "What's going on?" I say, "I'm ready. I'm ready." It's
We're
been officially how long?
a month.
A month. We took a break without announcing it,
Yeah,
thanks to this guy over here, guys. You can blame me all you want. So let's talk.
it is his fault. It is his fault. As per usual, a lot has been happening. I feel like
We always say that. That's like the intro of our podcast. Okay, guys. So a lot has been going on. Let's let you know.
life is lifing. No, but I think a lot of things happened.
Yeah.
That kind of led Elvis to wanting to take the break. Mr. Over here. I think the first thing that happened right after our last episode was we started again more home renovations.
Yep. Yep.
Um, we were able to hook up our family room basement,
Mm-hmm.
which that was
Slash man cave.
yeah, which was more my fault, my doing, because I started a second job trying to get clinical hours, so I have to work at night and I need silence to do telehealth. And he's like, all right, let me just work on the basement that way we can have a space that we can just be downstairs and I have to be necessarily too quiet
No, run around, go crazy
to not
downstairs.
interrupt. And it's worked out.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, initially we started doing the basement. We were only gonna do just a family room, but thankfully I have a good contractor slash good friend, and he was able to finalize the whole basement, which I mean, we already enjoying it. Your book club was one of the first ones that enjoyed
Yeah,
it, so it's been a great blessing, a great addition to the family. So
it's been good. It's been good. So when Elvis is in renovation mode, it kind of absorbs all of his time, right? Because he's working, but he's also monitoring, also at the same time after work, whatever, before work, trying to get help get materials. He's
yep.
like doing the legwork to kind of help the person get it done faster.
Mm-hmm.
And I think also just to kind of see like what's being done, let me see the progress. And he gets excited with projects. So it was hard to kind of get him to sit down and record. Rightfully so. And then he's like, "Oh, I think we should just take a break." Initially he wanted to take a break for the rest of the year, and I was very disappointed when he,
I know you were pushing me a lot.
but then I was like, you know what, let me fall back. Because realistically, I didn't have I don't have the time if you think about
We
it.
really never have the time, but I feel like whenever we're doing something so major like the basement, in the house or a major project within the house, um, I mean, it does take time for me, right? Because we
Mm-hmm.
have other responsibilities. We have the girls, right? We have. I mean, am I going ahead of what we're
No,
gonna
no,
talk
we're
about?
good. We're good.
Okay, so we got the little one, which thankfully we also she wasn't in school, right, when all this happened.
She had started the public school, but the public school's only 2.5 hours up here.
Yeah, which we decided that wasn't gonna work for us, even if
It
we
was,
had to
yeah.
pay a lot more than what we were paying before. But we were like, listen, let's put her in a private school and have her from 8 in the morning to 5:45, so that would give us kind of a break to really do our main job and then do whatever extra stuff that we need to do throughout the course of the day. So we had that, plus we had our oldest, which she started in cheer. So she,
Yep.
sometimes I would have to pick her up after 4 o'clock, after 5 o'clock, and drop her off. So all of those little things add up, plus doing the renovations, plus your part time afterwards that I would have to go downstairs with. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I would go downstairs with the girls and still finalizing work at the same time. So yeah, it's just a lot of stuff going on. Plus working out because I still been consistent, very consistent. Some of us have
Mm-hmm.
eating well and just having a balance
Well, I don't think
of
we're eating
everything.
well.
Well, I eat well. I fast most of the time. I
You
fast.
fast, but
That's good. So regardless of what I eat, I'm in a good place because I'm still in a calorie deficit, right?
yeah,
Because if I'm only eating 1,500 calories in a day or 2,000 calories in a day because I only eat that one time, then
you're
I'm
not
good.
even counting your calories.
I'm not because I know I'm doing
Yeah,
well.
he is. He's been consistent. I can say that for him. Um, I haven't been consistent with eating healthy meals
Or
necessarily
working out.
or working out. Will I get to it? Maybe for 2024, because at this point, it's like,
You know what also helped me a lot? Oh,
what am I
I've been
doing?
doing cold plunge. She hasn't been doing
Yeah, I
any cold
stopped.
plunge.
Okay, we're gonna
I
just be throwing
no, I need
Denise
you
on the
guys.
bus.
I want you guys to comment below, motivate Denise to kind of get back in track. This is not like a punching bag or anything like that, but
Hope
just
not.
encouragement to get back on track, right? I mean, the most important part is being aware.
I legit
So
cried like a few episodes back about my weight, and I didn't do
Senon
anything.
keeps on reminding you.
I didn't do anything about it. And I keep saying like, "Oh, I'm going to stop eating fast food." And then I find any
She
reason,
hasn't stopped, guys.
I find any reason to like, "Oh, let's just get this quick meal and be on the go." I'm not even going to make any promises of commitment because
You
here
should, so they can hold you accountable.
here
I'll
I
hold you
am.
accountable.
Here I am. Yeah, but he does it like in an annoying way, like judgmental. Like, yo, let me be. If I want to have that one cookie.
Babe, but there's no way of not doing it that particular way. So I mean, I just gotta tell you, you're not doing it. Look,
Yeah.
I put it even better. I put it this way. I said, babe, I don't want to spend all this money if you're not gonna utilize it. So I just want to know if I buy you a Peloton, would you use it for Christmas? I
Uh-huh.
said, because sometimes we don't have time, or in winter, you don't want to go outside. It's dark, it's cold. So we have the basement finish. Why not have a Peloton? And plus this, number one, I'll give her the Peloton, and I told her I'll make sure I stay with the girls while you have, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour workout, even 30 minutes.
I
Run the
didn't say
bike.
no.
Babe, you said, you know what, that's good, but I'd rather you buy me the iPad so I could use it for work.
Yes.
And I said, excuse me? I said, it can't be everything work, right? There has to be a balance. So you should be able to do your work and later on buy the iPad, but at least invest in something that's going to make you work out. You don't have to go outside. You're going to have it in the basement.
All right, so give me the Peloton then.
Should I get her the Peloton?
Yes.
Is she going to use it? I would get
I
so
will.
mad if there's one thing, I don't mind buying it, but if there's one thing that bothers me is that I buy something and you don't use it. Like if I buy you some sneakers and you're like, oh yeah, they're so nice, and all of a sudden they're very tight and you don't want, and you give it to somebody, and I see my sister with a pair of sneakers, I got those for Denise. Oh yeah, she gave it to me. Yeah, I know. That's the guilty conscience. You're not even gonna say anything.
That happened once. He exaggerates everything.
That marked me for life.
Oh, dramatic. But all right, so then get me it.
Comment below. Should I get her the bike? I don't know if Jackie watches this, but I know Jackie has a Peloton, right, from church.
I don't know. I think she has a regular bike. I don't know.
But she has a bike. She
I
likes
don't know. I
biking. She
think
likes
so.
cycling and all that stuff.
I used to cycle when I used to live in the Bronx, when I used to go to Soul Cycle.
Yeah, she went 5 times, and it was great. Who we went to
Oh,
in
no,
the class?
Lucio,
Yeah,
yo.
we
Él
ready.
está Lucio today, let me tell you.
Who we used to go to?
I've gone
What's
a
it?
few times, but it's also expensive to go cycling. But I enjoyed
Yeah, the
it.
expensive part is gonna get away because I'm gonna bring you the bike.
So, anyways,
Who we used to go to with what's her name? Was it Tribeca? That you call her?
she doesn't know we call her.
Oh, she doesn't know that? Oh man, I just threw you on the bus. My bad. Jenny. She calls you Tribeca.
Yo.
Okay. So we used to go with her. It was
She's
good.
gonna ask why we call her Tribeca.
Oh man, hey, comment below, please. I didn't start that, by the way.
You know what it is that I have to give nicknames to certain friends so that Elvis can know. Like I know a few Jennifers, so I have to give certain nicknames. And Tribeca was the best because she's in the city all the time. I think that was more of it.
And the way she talks.
And she got city girl vibes.
Yeah.
She'll be in an episode maybe for next year. I'm trying to reel her
That's gonna
in.
be interesting for sure.
She's
Can I be in the background while you guys talk?
She's a childhood friend. But anyways, all right, so get me the Peloton, right? So anyways, back to what we've been talking about.
Already. Let's go to the next thing.
Is, trying to find the work-life school balance. Yeah, it's been crazy because I started the second job in September, and then I started picking up in clientele in the evening. So that's kind of that was hard because there's days that I get out at 5 and I'm literally driving straight home to log into that computer and start the second job. So it is a lot. But ultimately it's I'm doing it for my hours to get my license, to be a licensed therapist. I don't know where that's gonna take me at this point. I'm kind of like not on the fence. Like I still want that to be a goal. But ultimately, I'm like, God, whatever you want to do, if this is going to work to honor you and glorify you and help others, great. If it's not for me, then I'll figure something out again. But we also have had like, ongoing promotions between Elvis and I. So I think that also kind of occupied our mind, just the idea of what it's going to look like for us.
And
Um,
we initially already knew that a promotion was going to come. That's why we actually put our youngest in private school because
yes.
we were, a lot of times I work from home, but now taking a management role is going to require me to be a lot more in the field. So I'm like, babe, we kind of have to do something. And you knew that you were going to get a promotion as well.
Yeah, I
So
just didn't know when it was gonna happen for me. But I also took a supervisor role, and hopefully that, God willing, that is starting in January. So that all entails figuring out how's it gonna work. Thankfully, the is in more proximity to home. So yes, while there might be days that I might be out a little later, it'll help still. And just, you can't beat being close to home. I
yeah,
think that and I think that's a lesson that I learned in this process of getting the position, is that we're at a place like like, yes, the title, the money might be good or whatever. It's good to get promotions, but to what cost? And I
yeah,
think that was my biggest lesson, because I did accept, but then I rescinded. I was gonna take a position that was gonna be in commute almost an hour and 15 minutes from home. So part of
which I didn't agree in.
part of he didn't, but part of moving into Westchester County and moving further up was to kind of be in proximity to where I work, because I
Absolutely.
was the one that was out more often, and have some stability. So I'm like, I thought about it after a while, and I said, you know what? It's gonna bite me in the butt, right? It's gonna set me back. And even Elvis was like, I can see you like the first month being a little bit excited about it, but then after the first month, you're gonna be complaining about the commute, complaining about coming home late. You're gonna have no motivation to do anything else. So I don't think it's gonna be a great idea. So God willing, it's gonna work out, and
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes. But I'm looking forward to it. And it's funny because Elvis and I both got the offer letters on the same day, which was so funny to me. Cause one, I was he wasn't even like expecting it. This is like it
Yeah, I was
came,
surprised, but I started running and screaming when I got the
yeah,
letter.
diantre exagerado,
That
but
I did
you were,
because yeah, because they took care of me. I felt like my RVP. I mean, if he had anything to do with it, which I believe he does,
yeah,
financially wise, I didn't expect it, and I was just grateful, right?
yeah,
Because whoever knows me knows I'm not about titles, I'm not about promotion and whatnot. But I've been in this industry for over 11 years now, so it's like it was kind of overdue at the same
mm-hmm,
time. It wasn't something like I really wanted it, but to know that my team was able to kind of vouch for me and say, "Hey, listen, we rather have this guy as our manager." I'm just grateful for
yeah.
having not only my job but also having the team we have now. So I'm excited, man. That's why I was like
I'm
going
excited
flipping.
for you. I can see Elvis thrive confidently in this position, because he has the people skills.
Yeah.
So I'm a little like nervous about, not that I don't have people skills and I don't have the ability to speak, but I am very more. Yeah, so I'm more apprehensive or like shy in certain aspects.
You're not shy. You're conservative.
And it's like, okay, now I have to take a leadership role and kind of activate it, which I do at church, but it's different at work.
It's crazy because everything we do now in our job and everything in general, we learn from church.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, I think being the director of the men's ministry really helped me in learning how to not only be a leader, but also how to deal with so many different dynamic as far as you got your older folks, younger ones,
Personalities.
personalities. You got the ones that are a little bit more rajatabla, the other ones that are a little bit more,
Yes.
clowns like myself. So, and how to control myself as a leader also because I can't be joking around all the time. And whoever knows me knows I like joking around with everything and everything.
For
So,
everything.
yeah. So, but we have that dynamic at work too. It's more
But it's nice
about
to have that balance.
yeah, we're more excuse me, we're more like a family more than anything else, and we call each other siblings and whatnot. So it's a good environment to be in.
Yeah. So I'm interested to see how that's gonna flourish and how it's gonna affect even just podcasting and just life. Um, Even though I think we have a pretty good balance now, I think that
We don't have any major projects. I think
yeah,
that's what's really holding us back. Where yes, I do the day to day, you do the day to day, but plus ultimately putting my back, also monitoring what's going on in
yeah, we
these
don't have to do any of
operational
that now.
side. There's stuff to do in the house because there's always going to be stuff to do in the house. Plus, I can't stay still. You know,
Yeah.
I'm always. It's funny because the mailman saw me the other day in the front, and I didn't tell you this, and he asked me. He said, "So what project we're working on now?" I said, "Christmas lights. Don't you see the lights?" They're like, "Oh man, you don't stop." I said, "Tell my wife that she's gonna agree with you." So it's funny that everybody that knows me knows I'm always doing something in the house.
But I feel like sometimes Elvis is always doing something of things he's not asked to do. Like he stresses himself
No, I'm
out
not saying
more.
anybody asked me to do stuff, but that's why I said I feel like I can't just stay still.
Yeah.
I have to be doing something. That's why I feel like this role as a manager is going to help me also because I could tell my staff, like, hey, listen, plan a day so we could go out to the field and just be all day with them and help
Yeah.
them as much as I can. So, listen, we have a good balance. Doing the podcast, I felt like we needed that particular break, but I don't really want to do any breaks. I'm not going to commit to anything, or I am going to commit to something because we enjoy doing this,
Yeah.
right? I feel like this is our time besides everything else that we do. And ultimately, we want to help as much as we can families, mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, right? And whatever we have an experience
Mhm.
in life to be able to grow as a person in general.
Yeah. And I think that because Elvis actually voiced wanting a break is that I was kind of respectful of it. At first I was a little bothered and I was
You were
worried.
respectful,
In the beginning I was. I
really?
didn't say anything crazy.
I didn't realize.
I
Sorry.
was a little disappointed and sad like the first 2 or 3 weeks that it was like, okay, here's another week that we didn't get to record. But it wasn't a like I didn't make it
You were
a
a little
big
annoying
thing.
about it though when you would tell
How?
me like, "Oh, we got to record." I don't want to let this like drop. And it's
Yes,
like,
that's it, but that's not annoying. That's just vocalizing how I felt.
I guess.
Annoying is if I was doing it every day, like, oh, vamos a grabar, let's record, let's do this, let's do that. That's annoying, like every day. Just saying it, like, oh,
You know what it is? I felt like I wasn't being heard. That's what it really is. Because
but
I've been telling you,
how?
let me get a break. And you're
Yeah,
telling
that's
me,
true.
oh, but we got to record. That's like saying, regardless of how you feel and you don't want to record, we got to do it.
No,
No, I'm telling you, that's how I would have
yes,
received the
but I
message.
was saying I felt that the proper way was to kind of announce that we were gonna take a
I
break.
agree with you
That's why I was
100%.
asking him to record.
No,
It
I
wasn't
agree.
like, oh, let's make a new episode. It was just like, let's let him know that we're taking a break.
But it got to a point where I was so busy, we didn't have time to
Yeah,
record. And I was like, you know what? You want to say announcement? Go announce it yourself.
yeah, he did.
I
But
know that got you upset.
he got the break he needed, right?
Yeah.
And I let him rock
And we back. We back.
somewhat. We also had our anniversary,
Yes.
um, which
15 years.
15
And
years.
striving. I love you, baby.
I love you too.
Oh, no, no, no.
I do. So
15
yeah,
years strong.
we
Still
didn't
with
get to
love.
do nothing drastic because we were doing the renovation. So
Yep.
our planned
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Say our plan, what we were
our
trying to do.
planned trip where I had the whole itinerary for was for Thailand, but it was
In case
Thailand.
any sponsor want to sponsor us for a
It was
Thailand trip.
Thailand or renovate the basement, a long term goal, and I'm like, "Ugh, all right, fine. And I think that
The basement was a great idea.
it was a great idea. Thailand can happen, God willing, at another time.
Hmm.
And, God knows everything, right? I think sometimes, well, for me, it's like, oh, I want to go.
That was never a part of my bucket list, but now it is. After seeing the videos, the
I
pictures,
was like, oh, we could stay here, we could go here.
it was breathtaking. Yeah.
So, we had dinner for our anniversary. Well, we actually it was our anniversary that we got to like both be off. We
Hmm.
spent the day together and whatever, and it was nice. But I did have a few
We went
questions.
shopping. We
We
did a
did.
lot of
He did.
shopping. We were all day out. We did breakfast together. We did lunch together, dinner together. I mean, that whole day we were really like all
Yeah,
over
because
the
the girls
place.
had school that day,
Yep.
so it was great. We were back for pickup and whatnot, and then Ellie actually
And it was
babysat
about
for
us.
dinner.
It was only us, and I felt like it was regardless that we couldn't go anywhere. We spent the whole
Yeah.
entire day
And
together.
remember, the next day was your birthday, and we were both super busy. So it was
Yeah,
like a complete shift it was like night and day those
back to the
days.
grind. Back to the
Yeah.
grind.
We were both like, oh, wow, this is what
Completely
happened.
different. Yeah,
But we
completely.
enjoyed it. So it was good. I did have some questions because I wanted to do an anniversary episode, but we couldn't. I wanted to ask, what's one of your favorite memories of us?
Yeah, it's hard. We have so many good memories. Go first. Since you asked the question.
I don't know. It's not like I wrote down a paper.
No, but you should know.
Um,
I think Puerto Rico, to be honest with you. When we were just friends. For
uh,
me, that was great. I would take you around
that's
every.
it. Not
Yeah.
nothing when we're married.
No, I'm saying like before we got
I
married.
know.
I think Puerto Rico was great because that was my environment.
Yeah.
And I was showing you my world, right? Because you were in New York and I was in Puerto Rico and we got to go to a beach together. Remember the picture that we
Oh
we
yeah.
looked so crazy in
And there
that
was like a
picture.
stray dog.
Yeah, yeah. And then we went to Vega Baja Lake. I don't know if you
Yeah.
remember the lake over there. That we went to the very top with Donathan. I don't know if you remember that. We went all over the
Oh
place.
yeah. Yeah, that was good. I think also when we were friends, the night that we broke night at the church camp,
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
and we
yeah.
just started talking the
MPA,
whole
right?
night.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
that was
remember.
good. I think married has been anytime we take away like to
Our
travel,
cruises. The
the cruises
cruises
have been fun
are
and Puerto
amazing.
Rico.
Amazing. Yeah, and Puerto Rico is always like a recharge for me, right? And
Mhm.
for both of us. I think the best part of Puerto Rico is that I'm able to bring my father with me,
Yeah.
and those are his moments to kind of spend with all of us. So I feel like Puerto Rico side, I just love having him part of,
Yeah.
Welo for the girls and being present and whatnot. But the cruises is like us,
Yeah.
right? And having your mother. I think one of the best trips we had together was with your mother, Alvaro. I
Oh,
didn't.
but that was just the four of us as
Yeah,
couples.
it was just
Yeah.
it was her mother and her step pops, and it was just great.
We had a good
It
time.
was it was a good time. It was completely out of the box. Um, yeah, we had a good time. But even their wedding was great for me
Yeah.
because it's like, man, like, I know your mother for so many years, and now to see her
Yeah,
married,
huh? Whole
yeah,
wife, right?
yeah, it was a great experience. It was.
Yeah.
I felt like, man, I could be part of this. So we have a lot of good memories.
Yeah. I think we are creating still our best moments, right? So I
Absolutely.
think that even like being able to buy the house
Yeah.
was a big milestone for us because it was something we've been saying
It's great.
for years.
It's great, but at the same time, it's like I'm in my head is like, okay, what's next?
Yeah.
Right? Because I feel like, okay, the house is great, but that already went away. Like, okay, I already have it and it's already there. What's next? Right? I have a lot of projects going on in Puerto
Mm-hmm.
Rico, which some of them are about to close. So I think for me, that's like part of it. And then having you completely licensed to what door is that gonna open,
Yeah.
right? Because ultimately you're doing that, but that's a blessing for both of us, or the household in general.
Yeah. That's true. We'll
So I'm
see.
excited. I feel like we're in the peak of everything that's going on in our world. And at the same time, not taking God from the equation, right? Because the other day we were just passing by Big Lots, and I'm like, babe, why we don't open that place as a church?
You
And you
said
know,
that or I said that?
I said that.
Didn't I say it? And what I said,
I
what was the
said it.
idea?
You said no. You gave me the idea what to do, but
Oh.
you said, "Oh, I don't know if we're prepared for that because we gotta like pray every day and hold hands
I
and
did
read the
not
Bible
say
together."
that.
And I was like, "Babe, we are never gonna be 100% ready. The only thing we could do is
Ay.
say, God, I'm saying yes to you. You take the wheel."
True. I just said it was a big commitment that I didn't know if we would be able to handle it. Exagerado with the whole praying
And
and
then you
holding
gave us an
hands.
idea. You said we could open. Go ahead. I'll let you say
I
your
said that
idea.
it would be nice to have a church slash drop in, right?
Hmm.
Because I've always been interested in helping. Like I see homeless people and it kind of like it's upsetting. Like people should have a place to, or at least bathe, shower, and have fresh clothes. So I'm like, oh, it's big enough to like have the church and also like a drop in center where people can go take a shower, and if they want to sit in after the like a meal to to the service, that they'll have that to kind of tie in community. So I did say that,
No,
So
I
I
think it's a great idea because we could do full pantry, we could do soup and kitchen, give clothing, probably have a day where we have barbers come in and give free haircuts. Um, to just really give
yeah,
back. It's not only about owning a church, but what are we gonna do for the neighborhood, right?
yeah,
What are we gonna bring into the table? So I feel like we're in a time and place where yes, I'm doing this in the professional side or whatever goals and dreams I have for my family. But ultimately, we want to be like God, what you want me to do that's aligned to your purpose, that is aligned to our calling as a couple. So
Right. Because I don't want to wait to retirement to serve God and do
no,
ministry.
no.
Like if God can give me the strength, the wisdom, and the and equipment to do it as I work, then so so be it. Whatever God wants to do, and I think that's why I was like, you know what, God, if the promotion, if getting my license, always gonna align to one getting closer to you, growing in you,
Hmm.
and learning on how to be an effective leader, then I'm for it because that's ultimately where I want to go. Maybe it's not to be a pastor. I don't know. I've been told that the calling is to be a pastor. Um, but ultimately to actually take those steps and walk in it is not easy.
Yeah, it's
So
not easy at
it's
all.
not a decision you want to make just out of yourself. You wanted to make sure that it is purposeful and that God is aligned and with you in that. But so we are looking forward to things, all in God's hands and
Yeah.
in His will, whatever He wants, right? Because, we can be at our peak today.
Hmm.
You don't know what tomorrow holds, but we got to just stay connected to God so He can give us the strength for whatever that may look like, right? I did have another question I did have was if you can thank your partner, which is us, for one thing, what would it be?
And not giving up on me.
Aw, that's it?
Yeah. I mean, that's. What you mean? That's
No,
it.
like you're not going to explain or elaborate.
That's everything. I mean, if you haven't listened to other podcasts, go to the very beginning where we talk about us almost separating and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and really, um, this not happening. We would not be sitting down here if you would not. I know I put apart, but you didn't give up on me, regardless of what you saw in front of you. You kept on pushing forward, and thanks to that, I'm still here with you. So, and not only that, we're here and we love each other, right?
Yeah.
Because you hear about people being together for years and they're not happy. I feel like we're both happy. We both
Yeah.
love each other. We both want to talk to each other all the time, and things may not be 100% all the time, but we know never, never to give up on each other.
Oh, I love that. Uh if I could thank you, there's so many things. I think being supportive in every aspect. Like I'm like,
That's
"Oh,
it. I'm joking. I'm
shut
joking.
up."
I'm
I was
joking.
going to
Yeah.
elaborate. Like I'll tell always, "Oh, I have this idea or let's do this or let's do that." And he's like, "Let's do it." Right? I don't know how we're going to do it, but he's like, "Let's do it." Whether it's been school, whether it's been career-wise, Elvis has never stopped me from trying to grow. I mean, that I want to be a stay-at-home wife now. I'd be like, please let me just stay home.
You're not gonna want to do that.
But he respects that I want to grow as my own person and have my own career and dreams, and he helps support that. And even in just doing the podcast, he's like, you know what, let's go for it. Let's do it. He's always down for the cause, whatever that may look like, even if we're like pulling each other's hairs for a little bit because of the stress. He's always supportive. He's a great dad to the girls. He manages them, I think, better than me sometimes because
I love my
he
girls.
just be so chill, and I'm like, I want to be so chill like that. So I appreciate him because he's just supportive in every aspect. I can't ask for more. Um, as independent as I want to be, I love that I can depend on Elvis for anything.
Yeah, if you can make me cry now. Only that for another episode, guys.
Exagerado, exagerado. Okay, I'll give you one more question. Uh,
It looked like you have a few questions.
no,
Yeah.
they're
Oh,
just
okay,
it's just
okay.
big. I have two, but I want to pick.
Okay, pick one. Pick one. Which
Okay,
one is a better question? And at the same time, think of what you're gonna answer.
what has been the most challenging lesson learned in all these 15 years of togetherness?
Oh, that's tough. Wow, that's a tough one.
I think I would say the most challenging has been is that a relationship requires you saying no a lot to yourself.
Mm,
And I don't it's not that not we is seeking the interest of the other person, right? Because if we're both busy
mm-hmm.
looking at the interest of one another,
Mm-hmm.
then we'll be happy, right? If I'm here doing things to try to make you happy and make you and okay, what's Elvis needs? What does Elvis want? And and helping him get that, and he's doing the same for me, then we'll both be meeting our needs. I think that was the most challenging, that we came into this relationship being very young. I think most of our early 20s, it was a lot of trial and error. We made a lot of mistakes because we were so self-seeking. It was just me, what can I do? What can I get out of this? Um and it's hard to say no to yourself. Say no, like I have to be faithful. I have to commit to this person. I can't always say the first thing that comes out of mine. I have to think of this person's feelings. I have to be mindful of what I say. I think that's been the hardest, that you have to learn when to deny yourself and, in a sense, kill the flesh, right? It's like, oh, I want to prove my point, so I'm going to do this to be spiteful. It's like a lot of self-discipline and self-control to be mindful of someone else's feelings and needs.
Yeah, I think we have a similar answer. Um, it's not about me. I think that's been the biggest. I came with a lot of burdens, a lot of maletas of
Mhm.
issues of what I had to deal with personally, and I felt like I didn't know that I had to deal with a lot of things. And again, the church really helped me with this. It was really to deal with, and I'm still dealing with certain stuff, right? None of us are perfect. Um, but I can't afford to not make it,
Mhm.
right? Because ultimately, it's not about me. It's about you. It's about the girls. It's about whatever, wherever God wants to place me. I need to be an impact. I need to be a solution for a lot of other people. And if I'm not learning that it's not about me, that there's a bigger picture out there, and that part of what I had to go through in my life, it was just part of the purpose of God. Would I choose differently? 100%. Uh, I would say no. Why? Because everything that I went through made me become the man that I am today.
Yeah.
So, like, just a reminder, it's not about me. And I think that that lets me be humble in a lot of parts of my life, whether, I'm high, I'm low. I just don't want to forget where God took me out of.
Yeah.
So,
And I think communication has been like a challenge, a hard lesson learned. Learning how to communicate what we needed. First of all, understanding what we
well, I
needed.
think if you're really just thinking about yourself, you don't
Mhm.
have any communication. I think that's what it was everything, no, whatever I need. And
Yeah.
especially when I was working only, I'm the one that you kind of have to prepare yourself for me. And
Yeah.
everything was about me, 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 but it can't be that way, right?
Mhm.
Because it should be more of what could I bring to the table, right? Because you spoke about earlier, I'm so supportive because if you bring an idea, if you bring a thought, I'm all in. What could I do to make this dream happen? Because your
Mhm.
dream is my dream, your goal is my goal, and I just want to move forward with you, right? Because ultimately we're one, and that goes not only to you, but that also go to our kids,
Yeah.
right? And my daughter want to be a teacher of dance, not that she does. I gotta encourage her to do that. I gotta encourage her to be the best teacher of dance possible, right? Because a lot of times we want such a high level to our kids where we're like, it's not about you. It's about what your kid wants, right? And help them develop the dreams they have. Today they probably want to be this, tomorrow they want to be that. Your job is not to dictate what's going to be best for them. Your job is to encourage them to believe that they could do what they dream of.
Yep. So, it's been a great 15 years. I think we've learned a lot.
Absolutely.
And we're still learning. I think that we enjoyed also, like, after our anniversary month, this um opening December, we were able to celebrate your friend's wedding in
Yeah, that's amazing.
Florida.
We're gonna do a podcast just about the wedding, man.
And
Spanish.
that was great to see Elvis one in his element, because he saw childhood friends he'd known since, some of them from like age 5.
Yeah, it's
Um
crazy. And it's like we never separated. Like I seen these guys,
yeah.
little in underwear walking around the street. We used to do sleepovers, it was like 10 of us and some of them I haven't seen them like over 30 years. They used to live in front of me. And if there's one thing we all have in common is, man, we all love God, right? We all had that seed of faith in us. And it's like it's crazy because we went to adelantando aquí un montón. But it's crazy because we went to this wedding not only because we got invited, but because this was the last guy from the group to get married. And for us, that was a huge deal. And out of this situation of this guy getting married got everybody united. You
Yeah.
know, we got people from Puerto Rico, you got people from New York, from Pennsylvania, from everywhere traveling just for this one guy. And at the same time, man, I haven't seen these dudes for
Mm-hmm.
years. You know, we were just talking all night about stuff. But again, me estoy adelantando,
No, but
¿verdad?
it was great. I think that was the last update that we've had of the month. I mean, of the break that we
I
had.
came so happy
He
from
did. He
I
was
came like a
so.
little kid. I really came like a little kid. This wasn't part of my bucket list. But to see my brothers like that again, it was everything to me, you know. And again, I just wanted to meet up again with them, but not only with them, but with their kids, and let their kids know my kids,
Yeah.
and because you don't see that nowadays, where you see all these you know, you grow up with somebody and then you don't see them anymore. But to see these guys again and be like, yo, we never freaking left. Like it was, we're still from Yadaya and Manati.
Yeah.
So
And it was also a nice little weekend away too.
yeah.
That was like a reset for us because we have been constantly
We
like
saw Ariel.
on the go.
Ariel, I love you, bro. We
Yes,
saw
we
his
did.
wife, his kid. We saw
Gabby, your
Gabi,
stepsister.
my
Yep.
stepsister, which was great. She made great coffee. I recommend it. So we had a good
It was
time with
good.
her. So it was just great. It was a
Mm-hmm.
great trip. Again, she didn't want to get the pause or the kind of break, but we took the break anyways. And now we ready. You know, we ready to what's the
I
next
think it
step?
was needed.
hmm Thank you. Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you, Elvis. I think it was needed. We can't promise that it's gonna be easier because, we're both gonna be extra busier, but we're here. We're excited and just a reminder to just give yourself time when needed. Know when your body's telling you that you need a break.
Absolutely.
Because we're constantly on the go and constantly have that need to be productive and be doing something. And sometimes it's okay to not do anything and give yourself some rest.
This was a great talk, babe.
It was a great catch up. Um, and I'm looking forward to what's next.
It had to be said.
And it was said.
Take care, guys.